Good greetings to all, and welcome once again. I hope you are all well, wherever you may be, as usual. Today, I wanted to talk about a controversial topic, which does occur a lot within the community, if we can call it a community, and it does become a trend, more or less. We are going to talk about the occurrence of transformation through ritualistic sexual practices and affiliation. Is it real? Is it true? Is there any substance to it? You probably have heard plenty of stories as such where someone who is new within the practice, or even relatively new, and they manage to somehow connect with others and find people who would have been practicing longer. And they chose to affiliate with them or to form partnerships with them or enter mentorships through them in order to cultivate their own personal knowledge and to unlock their own soul's divinity and transform themselves according to the path. And in time, as one brings the other, it may so happen that the so called mentor would suggest that the student or affiliate engages in sexual contact with them in order to be transformed. Sometimes under ritualistic practices, others without the use of any ritualistic practices at all. Uh, we may argue that 99% of cases as such don't really have any substance in them, that 99% of the time this is nothing but a trickery to convince the other party to engage within this act. But is there any substance to it? Is there any truth behind it all? Well, surprisingly, there is some substance to it when we ask the question of, can one even be transformed through such practices and through such rituals? Is it even possible? Does it even exist? Yes, it does, to a certain extent, but it's not as that simple, and it cannot be done by just anyone, just for the sake of even ritualistic practice, for that matter. So it does depend, like all other things, upon a plethora of factors. Okay? So, what are the factors? As always, it all comes down to soul attributes. So, you would require to have the soul attributes of a healer, which not everyone possesses, of course. With that being said, the real healer, the true soul healer, has gone through a process of self healing himself or herself throughout the years and has gone through significant dark transformations through negative situations and pain and trauma, physically and psychologically, to bring themselves to the point of being able to receive the energies of the healer. In most cases, these attributes are accumulated to the soul through creation, so they are already there. The person just hasn't unlocked them yet. And the negative occurrences that occur are meant to happen to forge the soul into the process of transformation to unlock that divinity. It's a long-term process. It's a bad process. It's a very painful process. Nevertheless, it exists, and it's not for everyone. Nah, the healer is not necessarily subscribed to only one side of the energy spectrum. He's not only a dark healer or a light healer. The small majority of the 1% will be able to do both. As strange as it may sound, it is possible, especially for healing. Not all operations may be conducted through both sides, of course. Healing, nevertheless, is blessed by both sides. So, there won't be much hindrances when you are trying to heal and help others. It's not a bad thing. It can only benefit you. Well, it depends who you're dealing with and what the purpose is. You wouldn't be blindly going around trying to heal everyone you see for the sake of it. Most of the people who you would end up healing would be guided towards you, sent to you to be healed. Okay? By the spirits, of course. The divinities which you subscribe to and cooperate with. Now, the truth is that if you truly are a healer and if you have managed to bring yourself to that level of transformation, then believe it or not, you, through these practices, may and will be able to transform others who also have a certain amount of divinity, who are also chosen by the spirits or have brought themselves to a certain level of transformation and proven worthy in order to gain the favor of the spirits. So, the healer's nature in regards to this act would be to be able to provide the healing through the sexual energies. So, in a sense, there is such thing as an alchemical sexual healer. So, what does that mean? That through this act, certain aspects of the souls of others may be healed. It is not an extremely common thing, but it does occur. It is rather rare, but it does exist. So, people would end up becoming more or less drunk from the energies of the healer, but in a good way, not in a toxic or addictive way. The psychological state of the person would start improving rapidly within the first 7 days. And the way it works is that the genetic code of the healer is to be found within the DNA, within the life force, for it carries it with it the soul DNA, a piece of the person's soul, the white light energy, which can create life. It's the energy of procreation. Okay, white light is the energy of life creation for the purpose of procreation. Okay, so of the divine feminine, the feminine energies being alchemically and biologically on the receiving end of the spectrum would receive that. And when that occurs, both the physical but also the spiritual DNA is transferred into the physical vessel, and that touches the soul as well, as we know. So this would result in healing, for energies have been mixed with another healer and a soul of stronger divinity. So it's like a piece of the puzzle. It just comes together and fits perfectly. Of course, the fact that you are able to receive from a healer doesn't mean that you are going to spend the rest of your life there. It simply means that you have taken some energies within that have helped you. And after a certain level of transformation, yes, the alchemist can actually heal others ritualistically in this way. The healer can also perform other operations, such as spiritual merges in this way, or ritualistic transformations to elevate that soul and bring other spirits forth. Nevertheless, of course, that does not mean that each and every one of these invitations are to be taken lightly or to be accepted. As affirmed, 99% of the time, there is no substance to it, and the person does not possess the qualities. And they are just seeking for we know what. But it does exist, and it is not impossible to not only transform the psychological state of the receiving party, the physical aspects may also improve. You may witness the person becoming healthier. Magnetism and glamour can be added. You shall definitely, within the first few minutes, witness the person's energy and face shining, more golden light added to them, and they will instantly begin to look younger and much happier within the days to come. You will notice these changes. The person will become more energetic, the person will be more happy, increased smiling, self love, confidence, all the things that come through healing. So, all in all, yes, it is possible. In some cases, which is rare, of course, things may not go according to plan. You cannot heal everyone, even through this practice. As sweet as it may sound under the right circumstances and with the compatible people, things could backfire like any operation. Meaning what? That the energetical state of mind may change if you seek to break that connection, and then the person will become addicted to your energy, and they will not be able to go on without feeding from it, or at least that's what they think. And that's when the energies may be reversed and turn negative. And then we are dealing with things such as obsessive and intrusive thoughts, addiction to a person's energy or the person's image. That's where parasitic tendencies of stalking occur, animosities, which are nothing but a cover up of emotions lying within, which are not as negative as they may seem. All in all, you'll get the picture. Things can go wrong at any time. But healing through such ritualistic purposes or affiliation with an elevated soul or transformed healer who has reached a certain level of divinity are nevertheless possible. And yes, it exists. But, like all things, take it with a pinch of salt and be extremely careful who you mix with. And invest a lot in your divination and psychic abilities to understand and to be able to see through the one and the other, so you may understand who actually possesses the qualities and who is the correct soul, which could help with these operations if you choose to do so. On a physical level of transformation, how, as in regards to how strong can it be, how strong can it be when it comes to breaking the veil through these practices? Extremely strong. Yes. That is 100% true. They are extremely strong and they are extremely potent. They can be way more potent than sheer alchemical performances, for the physical aspect is very, very strongly present in regards to the transformations which occur. So, there you have it. That's one piece of truth clarified. And a very controversial topic, of course. But hopefully that helps you with your path in the future and helps you identify some valuable points when it comes to affiliations with people of the craft, and of course, with how things may or may not occur when it comes to cultivating your own divinity. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time. Rise and conquer. Rebeldes tenebras tua.